Thank you all for tuning in. SF Johnny, Seriously Focused Johnny, you are tuned in to Difficult People Chronicles. Welcome. Today's episode is called The Message Protect Your Spiritual Family Tree. Conversations in a lot of families about spiritual warfare is not had. And we can see that by the amount of people going to different places trying to get help. And when I say places, meaning that some people are going to church looking for help, going to other Christians looking for help, going to friends looking for help. You know, they going through things. And a lot of families, they don't want to have the conversation about spiritual warfare. And sometimes it's because of fear. They know what it's all about, but they afraid to even talk about it. That's one of the things that I learned when I was going through it. There was a lot of people around me that didn't want to talk about it. They just didn't. Ephesians 6:12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. That's the King James Version. Someone is walking away from the family, and somebody in the family needs you. They see your peace, they see your light, they see how you move, they are intrigued. I'm not talking about someone in the family that causes stress or just want to be in the know. This person can be a distant cousin, a niece, a nephew. But what I saw is someone that is younger than somebody. This person needs direction, wants peace, want to know more about life. And everyone in their household, they are just going with the flow. This person wants to stop and connect with God, observe life, learn the proper lessons, because whatever they are learning within their household, they know is not right. Is whatever they're learning in their household is giving them more problems, more than a little bit. And they want to learn about God and your peace for who this is for. Just picking up the phone is good. Meeting up uh, once every 2 months is good. Not talking about drama in the family or the disputes, but the things you grew up on and building a life of peace. That's what they want to know. But for who this is for, you have to make the step in their direction. Whoever this is, you are moving too fast. Meaning that you so quick to walk away from your whole entire family because they nutty, because they do certain things, because they always drama filled, because they cannot see what is not normal. That you're not seeing that person that needs you. That same person, when you step in front of them and you start to talk to them and uplift them and educate them, they will always be grateful that God brought you two together. You'll be a part of their family when they have one, because your relationship with them is unique. Know that other people in the family, like always, the rotten ones will make accusations, try to get in your business. But don't worry about them, cuz they will be dealt with. In Genesis chapter 15, God assured Abram, who later he renamed Abraham, that despite his age, that him and his wife Sarah will be blessed with a son. And this was the covenant. God pledged to grant Abram prosperous land where they could settle and thrive, and this land was to serve as a foundation for the future generations. God's intention for Abraham was for him to be a great nation, and that was part of the covenant. Mighty with descendants, and he will flourish. He will be fruitful, have blessings, live the prosperous life. God committed himself to establishing this everlasting covenant, a sacred agreement between him and Abram, along with all his descendants, ensuring that their relationship would endure throughout the ages. Like many family trees, there are times that few people fall off the tree due to turning. And when I say turning, meaning that they start off having good ways, start off going to church, they start off with the family values, and then somewhere along the line they start acting out of the flesh, living for the world, acting like they never had a home, acting like there's no God. Those are the ones that fall off the tree. Those are the turned leaves that die and fall to the ground. This episode is called The Message: Protect Your Spiritual Family Tree. Just like the physical family tree that we see, that people draw on paper, there's a spiritual side to it where we have to protect our family tree through means of relating to the spirit, gratitude, maintaining a connection with God, praying for the family, teaching others about spiritual warfare, how to protect the family, how to pray when you get up, pray when you go to bed, how pray when you go to car, pray for direction, pray over your life, plead the blood of Jesus, pray over your friends. Your spiritual family tree that starts with you. A lot of people think because the regular viewed family tree is jacked up, going way back, where grandparents was fighting each other in the dirt and kids fighting and jealousies all in the family, and this person sleeping with that person, or that person's cheating with that person, or have 50 million kids and a deadbeat dad, that it is what it is, or that's just the way the family is. And Satan wants you to think that. Just like when people try to fix friends to be friends and spouses to act like spouses, people will try to fix their spiritual family tree by correcting those that are falling, that are corrupt, by praying for their protection, hiding their evilness, or having a me attitude where they don't feel to educate, uplift their own family member, or continue the bad habits taught by their parents. A lot of families, because it is this old way of doing things, conversations about the past is not had, abuse is not discussed, and it was never dealt with. Healing does not take place. Loving properly is avoided. Jealousy seems normal. The blame game is in the wrong direction, meaning you have people that don't want to take accountability, but they want to point the finger to everybody else. Cheating is not called out by the parent of the grown woman or man, but there's a whole lot of excuses. Deliverance is not discussed, nor is spiritual warfare, like I said, but The one thing that is always seen to be talked about openly with no problem is money. How much you make, what you have, are you successful? You seem broke. That person over there don't have it like that because, or they got it like that and they don't want to help nobody else. Or that person don't got it like that because they lazy. But the things to make you transform, heal, be authentic, grow, and be spiritually protected, the conversation is not had. So, for who this is for, what's your position? In my podcast episode, I talked about position yourself in a path of peace. Check out that episode. In positioning your path of peace, there are going to be sometimes certain things within your family that God is going to want you to do. Your assignment doesn't only mean what goes on outside of the family, like fellowship in the church and doing volunteer services at the local thrift shop or helping the kids in school and all that other stuff. Your assignment, a lot of times, can be with someone in the family. And for who this is for, part of your assignment is that. And whatever it is will connect with God's design for his kingdom. An example, your assignment might be to teach, let's just say. And you are in one direction where you are working on teaching, but you're teaching in a specific establishment. And God may mean teach everybody. Like how Jesus walked the earth and was teaching many. Well, there's somebody in your family that needs you. Are you going to continue the same way of being where the family act up and you just like, I'm out? They never going to see me again. Because then you'll mess up part of your assignment. Are you going to put up with sticking around, allowing those same family members to play the blame game and never change, leaving a trail of arguments that becomes a distraction? And why it becomes a distraction? Because you engage in it every time you're around them and you can't see that there's somebody that needs you. Are you going to protect your spiritual family tree by asking God to reinforce the teachings, the values, and the beliefs that are godly, that you were brought up on, so you could teach somebody else in the family? Are you going to step forth and pray for others, like the seniors whose children act like they are never going to get old, so they don't care about the seniors in the family? Are you going to pray for the babies whose parents are too busy to teach them about God and Jesus, their love and protection? What's your position? I have a runner plant. I don't know if I told you about my plants, but I talk about them so often because I'm just like, I can't believe that I would eventually have a green thumb at one point in time. At one time, I didn't care. I would just walk past the plant. I'd be like, look, I'm about to pack that bad boy up and take it right to my sister's house and let her deal with it. Because she loved plants. But now, I learn to appreciate some things. So, my runner plant, when it's placed in the window and the sun is beaming, the leaves turn yellow. And I noticed that because I was like, what's going on here? And when it's near the baseboard, the leaves turn black. And all I have to do is pull off the dead leaf. Well, in families, you have to get rid of the dead leaves. meaning that there are people in the family that's going to hinder your development. And for who this is for, you are aware of that. You cannot focus on them. You have to focus on that person that needs you. And I feel like the person that needs you, whoever this is for, is younger than whomever. They try to have little conversation. Spirituality is very important, and your family tree is very important when it comes to spirituality. What does a spiritual family tree look like? One of the things you got to think about is, who are the ancestors that instill the teachings of life and helped carry on wisdom in your family? These are the roots that God planted. These teachings you want your children and their children. You want other family members who want to know more about God and the teachings to learn more. So you want to not pay attention to those in the family that is hindering that spiritual growth. Example, let's just say growing up, your grandmother and grandfather was teaching you things in life, like how the enemy move and prayers for protection. And then some way along the line, there was a step parent, or I would say extended family, that entered into the family, and they tried to change or stop that dynamic, feeling that whatever wisdom you learned was stupid or it's not necessary because certain things is a part of life. Or you have family members who tell lies and wish bad on other people's kids, like the babies. You got to pray for them. Do what the parents are not doing. Ignore the people in the family that are lukewarm and pray for them. And stand and position yourself and do what your grandparents did. Teach. You have to remember when your grandmother and grandfather talked about peace, and this is for who this is, because I feel like it's a grandmother, grandfather. When they talked about peace, faith, and creating an atmosphere of love and instill the teachings of the Bible, you have to remember these things. And whatever comes to your mind, you got to write it down, because you're going to need to talk to whoever this person is, and teach them, because whatever's being told to them is not right. Remember what your grandparents taught you, that you want to have in your house, a part of like a belief system, values, and use this to teach others. I'm gonna give you an example. That's in your household. A male figure might say something like, work on yourself, be the greatest version of yourself, and find you a wife. Then you meet somebody in the family that says, oh, go out there and play the field. But they never tell you when you should grow up. hmm And this person that's taking in this advice starts to listen to the person that says go play the field, and they start getting into all this trouble and all this craziness happening, stalkers and STDs and everything else like that. And then one day they look for the other person in their household for direction that says, you know develop yourself, be the greatest version of yourself, and find yourself a good spouse, or pray to God for a good spouse. So they go back to that. And this is kind of what, in a nutshell, that this person, whoever this is for, needs. Whatever they learning in their household is not right, and they feel it's not right. People kind of have, sometimes people have a sense when something don't seem normal. Like they listen to somebody, and then that same advice they get, they always ending up in trouble. And they look for a different approach. Identify how those things that was taught to you has helped you develop spiritually. You might have flaws, because people always say that, oh, I'm not perfect. We all not perfect. But I want you to identify how your grandparents' presence in your life helped you grow, because this is part of your fruit, and you're going to have to explain this to another person. Your testimony is going to be able to help them. Teach those who don't know how to pray, and pray for others in the family that are not seasoned or spiritually blind. And when I say not seasoned, meaning that they don't know nothing about praying, like they don't know how to pray. They don't know where to begin. Or those that are spiritually blind, where the enemy is hiding the truth, and they need to develop spiritually to see what's really going on, or to see the truth in the family, because whatever's going on in the household is a lie. You're going to have to be the one to teach them. Learn, use the examples, and teach on what was passed from the roots. You could teach those outside of your family, but more so, teach those in the family. Teach them how to pray. Teach them about spiritual warfare. Teach them about spirituality. Teach them about the Holy Spirit, about connecting with God. Teach them about peace. Teach them about protection. When it comes to protection in a spiritual warfare, what you don't want is for the tree, your family tree, to wither or be uprooted because of the enemy. You want it to grow in height, strength, and branch off, where the dead leaves fall off if they have to. New ones sprout and produce more leaves, and help the other branches to develop into a beautiful family tree. Protecting your spiritual family tree is about not ignoring, but protecting your spiritual family tree for the future. And in that way, you'll see some branches fall, new ones blossom in all different directions. One helps another. The roots are still strong, and the tree blossoms beautifully, still standing. How could I say this? So, there's a covenant pertaining to your family line, and you want to protect this. And there's a person in the family that can help you, spiritually. And this is for who this is for. The person who is anointed may feel that there's work to be done when it comes to your family. They know that their family, like their whole entire family, is supposed to be blessed. Not just the family in the household, but in the other households. Part of your family tree is supposed to be blessed, but something happened along the way. Well, this person that needs you feels the same way. They feel the same way. They want to learn more. They want to seek God. They want to be at peace. They do not want to be ashamed of how the family is. And they want to fight to have a better family, to have a better life. They want to have strength. They want to spiritually build. And this can only start with you, because God is using you to team up with this other person who needs to know. Remember, we can walk in someone's life for a reason and build and restore what the enemy tried to destroy. Because whatever's in this family, whoever this is for, it's like a lesion or whatever, it's festering. It's like, and when I say whatever's in this family, it could be jealousy, it could be envy, yeah. But this person in the family who is younger than whomever is different. They different. It's kind of like a person who was brought up in poverty, and then the grandparents fought for a lot of things, freedom, to be heard, to this, to that. They taught these things in their family, but then somewhere on along the line, the grandparents passed away, and the children of the grandparents and parents, whatever, they moved backwards. So now they think that the way the family is normal. But then there's somebody that says this is not normal, and they are not a product of their environment. Yeah. Because somebody out there is going to have to teach somebody in the family, is going to need to take them under their wing, teach them about spirituality, all aspects of spirituality, and you can take it slow. Start with the Bible. Start with the Bible. Start with a lot of stories in the Bible, and start there, and then relate it to life's lessons. This person is going to be ever so grateful. And then you're going to see your work in this person, where this person is going to listen, start to do, and then start to step and elevate and educate others in the family. So that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. And check me out on YouTube, like, subscribe, click the notification, check out my store for suggested topics. Email me, and have a blessed week. Later.